Powered by the Montana Television Network. This is Montana This Morning from Montana's news leader.
Well, good morning and thanks for waking up with us. I'm Justine Stewart.
And I'm Louis Storch. Hope you're having a good start to your Wednesday. Halfway through that work week, Justine. And yesterday, in the past couple days, dealing with really some of the coldest temperatures we'd seen all this winter season.
It's been just frigid. I mean, I've been kicking the heat up and warming the car up. And
you compare what we're seeing out west to what back east is seeing. Places like Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania yesterday were almost 80 degrees. Absolute records back east, record cold back west. And that's kind of the same pattern we're going to keep as we roll into the weekend and into next week, as well as this pattern that's shaping up, bringing in these well below average temperatures. So as we take a look at today's forecast, we're going to see that again for today. 23 in Missoula, 18 in Kalispell, 24 Hamilton, 18 also in Polson. Now, the one thing I'll point out with Polson is we're going to throw a few snow shower possibilities in there, and that's just because we have that chance for some lake effect snow to begin again this afternoon. We saw that yesterday. Could see that again for today. Really on the east side of Flathead Lake is where we could see that. So if you are under those bands, you can pick up a quick couple inches of snow. All other areas will remain dry for today. So here's your forecast headlines. Quiet conditions, isolated flurries with sunshine through Friday. Cold with highs anywhere from 15 to 25 degrees below average through Friday as well. There will be slightly warmer with snow returning for the weekend.
Recent national events have put the issue of school safety in the spotlight. That includes here in western Montana. We have seen 2 instances of local school threats, and Missoula County public school officials are discussing now how to best keep the students safe from mass shootings like the one in Florida. We're going to begin in the Bitterroot, where a Darby High School student accused of making threatening social media posts about shooting students says he is sorry for scaring people and says he regrets his actions. 18-year-old McLean Kaiser appeared in Ravalli County Justice Court on Tuesday. He's charged with 2 felonies for his threats. Ravalli County prosecutors have charged him with 1 felony count of intimidation and 1 felony count of assault with a weapon after a number of witnesses reported conversations and social media posts where he made direct threats towards the school and referenced the deadly Florida shooting last week. According to court documents, Kaiser made statements about 10 students that early last week and that they should wear certain colors to avoid being shot at school. Then, after the Florida school shooting last week, he referenced the shooting very specifically in a social media post, saying coming soon to Darby. Kaiser admitted to the statements he made in the hallway at school to investigators, but said that he viewed his activity as a joke. In court, Judge Jim Bailey said he considered Kaiser a serious threat to the community and set his bail at $50,000. If he makes bail, he's prohibited from going on school property or initiating contact with people at school. His parents were in court and did agree to remove firearms from the home. Kaiser's next court appearance is expected to be sometime in March. Meanwhile, Missoula County public school officials tell KPAX that they have deemed a threat made by a Big Sky High School student to be a low-level one. MCPS spokesperson Hat Littman tells KPAX that the student received a verbal threat while exiting class on Thursday. That threat was immediately reported to Big Sky High School administration. Littman says the threat assessment team reviewed the threat and then followed district protocol when it comes to investigating threats. After a thorough investigation, it was determined the threat was a low-level one and was not a viable threat. She could not disclose any disciplinary actions that the student may be facing, citing student confidentiality laws, but did say school administrators have taken the appropriate next steps. Littman reiterated to KPAX that MCPS takes every threat seriously, saying safety is their top priority. At a special work session, Missoula County Public School administrators and trustees discussed the safety of the district. Parents who were there brought up concerns about communication with the school after the threats at Big Sky High School were not made known to parents right away.
It was really disheartening to find out on social media about the issue that happened at Big Sky. I think it would have been very beneficial to have some kind of communication.
Communication was a key topic as trustees and administrators talked about the work that is already being done to ensure safety and questioned if it was enough. Prevention was also discussed as trustees stressed that an atmosphere of inclusion be a top priority, as well as programs to address mental health needs as they come up. Trustees talked through possible scenarios and if students and teachers are currently trained to respond if they hear a threat or are in an active shooter situation. Superintendent of MCPS Mark Thane says that they are working to get all staff to take an active shooter resistance training course. Thane said an annual crisis plan has been created and is reviewed every year for each school. Well, the longtime Flathead Valley physician who went missing while skiing near Big Mountain over the weekend has still not been found. Crews are continuing the extensive search, and Flathead Sheriff Chuck Curry says they will be back at it again this morning. The missing skier has been identified as 62-year-old Jonathan Scott Torgerson from Columbia Falls. Torgerson is a longtime practicing physician at North Valley Hospital, as well as an experienced backcountry skier.
3 whistles, positive find. Single whistle is just location, find the rally point. Any other communication issues? This is a big group.
The search is centered in an out-of-bounds area just to the northeast of Whitefish Mountain Ski Resort. The search got off to a tough start over the weekend when high winds, snow, and low visibility hampered efforts significantly both in the air and on the ground. Several organizations, including Search and Rescue, the Nordic Ski Patrol, Two Bear Air Rescue, and other volunteers are involved in that search. U.S. Senator Jon Tester paid his candidate filing fee on Tuesday, making it official for his re-election effort. As MTN's Mike Dennison reports, Tester's filing may complete the field in the state's top electoral contest for 2018.
Tester and members of his family, including his wife Charla, his daughter, and several grandchildren, showed up Tuesday at the state capitol as he paid his $1,740 filing fee to be a candidate for the U.S. Senate. Afterwards, he talked with reporters about what he'll be working on and emphasizing as he campaigns for a 3rd consecutive term.
One of the things that I've tried to do is try to work with anybody who'll work with me, and I think we've seen that with the work we've done in the Veterans Affairs Committee. I think we've seen it with the banking bill that we just pulled out of committee in a bipartisan way.
Tester is considered by some to be one of the more vulnerable incumbent senators this year, a Democrat in a state that President Trump won by 20 percentage points in 2016. 4 Republicans already are in the race, vying for the GOP's nomination to take on Tester. State Auditor Matt Rosendale, Big Sky businessman Troy Downing, former State District Judge Russell Fagg of Billings, and State Senator Al Olszewski of Kalispell. They've been beating up on Tester whenever they can, calling him a soldier in the Democratic leadership's liberal D.C. Army and someone out of touch with rural conservative Montana values. Tester says that's the same strategy he's faced before. As he puts it, the GOP trying to cast him as something he's not and running against that imaginary person. He says he's the same farmer he was when he first ran, working on behalf of rural interests, and for anyone who doesn't believe it, they can come out to the farm and put in a day's work.
And I invite anybody that wants to come out and pick rock this spring to come on out. We'll give them a pair of leather gloves, and they can get on one side of the pickup and I'll get on the other, and Charlotte can drive, and we'll do a little picking.
Tester may be the last candidate to file for this race, but we still don't know whether a Libertarian may be running, as they have before. The party chair told me Tuesday 2 Libertarians are still considering it. Mike Dennison, MTN News, at the Capitol.
The deadline for filing is Monday, March 12th. Well, crews with the Kalispell Department of Transportation are removing snow berms throughout Kalispell. The work starts at 2 a.m. until 2 p.m. throughout the week until the project is complete. The DOT says they expect slow-moving operations involving a large snowblower and rotating dump truck to haul the snow away. Residents and drivers should expect delays in areas where crews are working, as they will occupy a majority of the lanes in each direction while working. They say motorists should yield to all snow removal equipment and reduce speeds in work areas. Time for your weather on the 8th now. Lewis is standing by with the latest for you.
I think you're just seeing good morning, everyone. Well, one of the things that might help them with that is that we are going to get a break from the snow, at least for today, tomorrow, and then into Friday. However, coming to Saturday, we're bringing snow back into the forecast, but nothing like that system that moved through last weekend. Here's a quick look at the temperatures this morning. 1 in Polson, 5 Missoula, 8 below in Kalispell, 3 below Phillipsburg and in Sula. We're at 3 in Hamilton, 7 below St. Regis, 4 below waking up this morning in Thompson Falls. So another very cold start to the day. It's going to be another really cold afternoon. So let's take a look at this on our Hamilton hour-by-hour forecast. Great backdrop photo here by Sarah. Sarah, thank you so much for this picture here. Notice we're going to be about 6 this morning. only warming up into the lower 20s by 4 p.m. So this temperature here again, about 20 degrees below our average for this time of year. And then as we take a look at Kalispell, what a beautiful backdrop photo by Patty. Patty, thank you so much for this great picture right here. Kalispell hour by hour will be about 2 below by 8 a.m., around 5 by 10, 15 by 1 p.m. We're only going to see a high today of right around 18 degrees. So let's go ahead and time out the next couple days here and talk about your temperatures. To do this, we'll use this jet stream forecast. Notice the big dip in the jet stream we have out west, giant difference in temperatures, a really different weather compared to the west. Then look at the east coast where they're talking about record warmth, some areas way up in the 70s, even 80s yesterday, as far north as Pittsburgh. So yeah, it is really warm off to the east. We're going to keep cold weather all the way through the end of the week. We're going to keep these below average temperatures through the weekend, and as we do this, some systems are going to move through, so everyone should see some snow start to develop Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, and into Monday. And looks like these colder temperatures are just going to stick around as we roll into next week as well. So your 7-day forecast shows 20s for Missoula Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Slightly warmer, but when you think about our average is 40, like I mentioned, notice for the next 7 days, all those temperatures are going to be well below our average. Kalispell will see 18 today, 20s Thursday and Friday, 30s with snow moving in for the weekend. And Hamilton, 24 today, 25 Thursday, 27 on Friday. Again, we're going to bring in some snow shower chances Saturday, Sunday, and moving into Monday.
30's looking warm.
I know, right? You see those 30s, you're like, all right,
yeah,
starting to warm up there.
All right, well, thanks, Lewis, and do stick around. We'll be right back. But first, here's some birthday shout-outs for you this morning.